Welcome to another edition of the CCL Player Shoutout, brought to you by the Varsity Voices Media Network. I'm Joe Fervaletti, and today on the podcast, we welcome Joliet Catholic's Ian Campbell, the 2024 Orange Division Lineman of the Year, 2024 Zuko's All-Dog Team member, and future midshipman for the U.S. Naval Academy. Ian, welcome to the Varsity Voices.
Thank you for having me.
If you are looking to buy or sell a home, contact RE/MAX Realtor and Circle of Legends recipient Christopher Cobb. Let Chris's extensive negotiating experience work to guide you on all of your real estate buying and selling needs. Contact Christopher now to discuss the right strategy for your personalized real estate buying and selling plan. His number is 630-420-0070, or you can visit his website at christophercobb.com.
It's good to have you, Ian, and appreciate you jumping on here. And I just mentioned a couple of accolades as far as the Orange Division Lineman of the Year. Of course, the Varsity Voices Zuko's All-Dog Team Member of the Year. What does it mean to receive some of those kinds of accolades, Ian? I know a lot of those came your way last year, and I'm sure a lot more are going to come this year. So what does it mean to you to get some of those?
Yeah, it means absolutely so much because people recognize it. It feels good. People recognize a lot of hard work and a lot of hard work you put on the field when I'm playing for my teammates and all that, and it's a great feeling. I obviously have a lot more to chase. I mean, I love going after the accolades and everything, but it means a lot. I mean, I got a lot of important accolades, such as the ones you just named, and I do have a couple more to chase, but. Yeah, it means so much.
Yeah. So which ones, any particular ones you might be chasing this year? I know you're a team guy, Ian.
Yeah.
So I know you probably don't want to focus on yourself, but let's put a little focus on you right here.
Yeah.
Anything you're chasing this year?
Yeah. So, I got a lot last year. I'm in the year. I was all conference. I got a lot of all area, the top dog. I got all that stuff, but there was one that I didn't get, and that was the All State Award. And the All State Award last year they gave it to Daniel Rouse and Larry Stringham, which were those the two guys that I think should have got All State. And
yeah, for sure,
no problem at all. Like, I was not upset about that. I was so happy for them. But that was their senior year. Now it's my senior year, and that's the one I'm chasing. Man, that's the big one. That's the big one. The All State, first team All State. Obviously, there's a couple all areas maybe I can get, but the main focus for me is going for that All State award.
So the off season for you, I'm sure it's been a lot of effort as far as workouts, those kinds of things. And to me, there's always been kind of this mythical thing regarding Rudy's gym, right?
Yeah.
Were you at Rudy's gym this year or this off season? And tell me what that's like to actually be there and to work out there.
Yeah, so I'm in Rudy's gym. That's pretty much my second home. I'm always there, never leave. He has to kick me out sometimes because I'm there. I'm always in there, getting after the weight room. But to me, it's an experience like no other. I've been in a lot of other old school gyms that people say, yeah, old school gym. But I've been in a lot of different gyms. I've been in other weight rooms, toured other schools before. I went to Joliet Catholic, and there was just a different feeling about Rudy's gym, and it's a different experience. And it's a place where you find yourself in a different mental aspects when it comes to lifting, comes to bettering yourself. Because you're not in an air conditioned, super nice weight room with all the high tech stuff. You're in an old school iron gym, and you have so much fun there because it's all the football guys throwing heavy weight around, and it's like the best. I think it's one of the best experiences that come with Joliet Catholic and being an athlete there because it's open to all athletes for Joliet Catholic. And another cool thing is that there's also other kids from different schools there too.
Cool.
Some guys from Providence that rolled down, not the football players, but some like the hockey guys. So we just talk a little bit, and it's a cool experience. You meet a lot of people. And about Rudy's gym, all the walls are covered up with memorabilia, newspapers, articles, pictures of just legacy of Joliet Catholic and other schools. But there's more Joliet Catholic legacy in that gym than I think maybe even the school. There's everything in there that besides trophies, but a lot of history. It's a lot of stuff I look up to because sometimes I catch myself after school. I'm there sometimes till 8 p.m. and I'm looking at the wall and just wanting to be one of those guys who were great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great guys that come out of Joliet Catholic.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the alumni from Joliet Catholic. I know it's a storied program, a wonderful tradition, and I'm sure the coaching staff, the school itself, as well as the players, kind of lean into, some of those guys who have come through that program before you and have made an impact and still want to stay involved and continue to make that impact. So how important is that for you as you kind of go through your journey at Joliet Catholic?
Oh, it's super important because the one thing Coach Josh stresses us is play for the alumni who set the standard for us. And when I hear that, it gives me chills because when you look back into Joliet Catholic history, not just for football, for everything. I mean, our alumni have built up this program, built up the name, and it's such an extraordinary thing. And like 90% of the football coaches are alumni, and it's great talking about their experiences at Joliet Catholic. The baseball coaches are alumni, teachers, and it's such an important thing for our school because they help out a lot. They come to our games, they donate, they do all this stuff for us, and they set the standard. That's the most important thing, that they have set the standard for Joliet Catholic. And me looking at it, it's something I want to be. It's something I want to also put forth that legacy. I want to be an alumni, and that's really what's driven me because I want to be a memorable alumni.
So last year, right, you and Joliet Catholic and Mount Carmel were tied for the record as far as number of state championships. Now, Mount Carmel, they won the state championship last year, right? Yes. You guys fell a little bit short. Is that something that kind of drives you and your teammates this year to not get back to that level, because you guys are already at that level playing for state championships every year? But I would imagine you guys want to win that next state championship and get back in that conversation with Mount Carmel again.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge drive for us because, I mean, going back to last year's Mount Carmel game, that was an absolutely unreal experience. The crowd there, the tailgate, the party, and all that before the game, and playing in that game. I mean, we were up at the halftime, and we let them slip away from us. But we know that, we do compete with Mount Carmel, and being level state championships with them is something that really drives us because we fell short, obviously, 2 years in a row. But it's a huge drive for us because we look at that and we're like, we've been there before. We want to get back to that top. And it's even like, if it doesn't happen or if it does happen, it's something that still is going to drive us.
So I'm sure you started playing football when you were, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. That's when most people start. And now you're a defensive lineman, right? And you're a defensive end. When you started, where were you position-wise, and how did you kind of evolve over your time to get to this point where you're at the defensive end position?
So, funny story, actually. I actually didn't start playing football till 8th grade.
Ah, really?
So I was, turning, when I was 13 years old, I didn't start playing, and I was always a big baseball guy. Big baseball guy, but then my dad's like, here, go try football. You're a pretty decent-sized kid, and I want to go out for quarterback.
Of course. Who doesn't want to play quarterback?
Yeah, right? I wanted to be the quarterback and everything. And I come to practice late on my first day because I had baseball practice for my junior high. And they're like, we already have a quarterback. You can go play defensive end. So from that point on, right. I've been an edge rusher instead of, my dream was to be the quarterback, but now my target is to go hit the quarterback instead.
Right.
But, so it was a big change for me transitioning to playing football, but I got the hang of it. And now it's my life. It's all I love.
So you are a 2-sport star, right? Baseball and football, and you're a pitcher baseball wise, right?
Yes.
Any kind of crossover between the two sports, and more specifically between the two positions, right? Being a pitcher and being a defensive end, anything that you've kind of experienced over time where there's a crossover between the two and you can benefit from some of the skills you have in baseball to football, and maybe some of the skills you have from football to baseball?
Yeah. So one thing I realized when that doesn't really cross over, but something that's it's like an opposite is being a pitcher and defensive end. Being a pitcher, you got to be calm on the mound. You have to be calm, and I didn't really do so well at that because I'm used to being a football player and wanting to hit
Right.
someone the next play if something doesn't go my way. Because that's what you can do on the football field. You mess up, you can just next play go hit someone. But you can't do that on the baseball field.
Right.
So it's a mental challenge to switch it from sport to sport. But something that does cross over, I think, is the size advantage, the physicality. Even though you can't hit someone in baseball, that strength, that football strength, and that weightlifting that you do to build your body, I think goes both ways for both sports. Some people think, oh, baseball player, you don't need to be big, you don't got to lift heavy, you don't got to be strong. I think you do. And I'm a defensive end that throws 95 miles an hour on the mound, and I really think I didn't really do much training for the night. Didn't do much pitching training at all, but it really came with my strength. A lot of hard work and Rudy's, and I think a lot of baseball players should take advantage of heavy lifting training, not like a football player all the time, but incorporating a lot of stuff some football players use, and all sports should do it because it's ultimately you want to build your body in the best strength possible.
So you're going to Navy to play football, and what was it or is it about Navy that really kind of drew you to that?
So Navy it is huge benefits after college. A lot of opportunity. You have a lot of opportunity after you finish your my 1 year at the prep school and then my 4 years at the academy. You have a lot of opportunity afterwards. Even though you got to serve 5 years, you still get to choose your major and go be an officer and what you want to be. And something that comes with that is legacy as well.
Right.
Navy has huge tradition, huge legacy, and huge opponents. Playing Notre Dame every year, that's just a huge legacy game. And Army every year, one of the best rivalries in all of sports. And some that really drew me is what all the hard work you got to do at the Navy, what it's going to lead to after the 5 years I'm going to have to do. It's going to lead to success if I do it right and I listen to them. And the legacy of being a Navy athlete is something I really want to pursue and I really want to be great at.
Now, does Navy have a baseball program?
Yes, they do have a baseball program.
Are you going to play baseball too?
So I'm talking to football coaches about it because they know all about my baseball accolades. I got all conference and they know how hard I throw, and they were talking to the baseball staff a little bit. So it's in conversation. It's in the conversation definitely. But it's Navy baseball. Yeah, actually one of my buddies at Joliet Catholic just got offered by Navy.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I should share his name yet, but there'll be something about it.
Don't spill anything yet. Ian.
Right. Yeah.
We'll wait. Yeah.
Yeah. You could probably see that soon, but yeah, I mean, they have a baseball program, and that's definitely it's in my mind.
All right. Well, that's good. I think that's good, and I think there's more and more coaches, college coaches, who are talking about what they're really looking for is kind of well-rounded athletes, two-sport athletes, not necessarily focus on one particular sport, although that works too. But I think there's some value really in playing two sports and being good at both of them. And I think from a coach's standpoint, whether it be football coach at the college level or a baseball coach or whatever it might be, they see some real value in that, Ian. So don't let that kind of fall by the wayside. Keep pushing on it. That would be my advice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like some guys, I feel like you got to do something. I mean,
right.
They like that I was a two-sport athlete. All the schools I talked to liked that I played baseball, and a lot of schools were going to offer me for both. And it's a big thing. I'm like, even if you don't have to play a second sport, but you should do something on the side to keep you active, like train jiu-jitsu or something.
Right.
Yeah. Keep you athletic.
Yeah. So any particular things like that on the side other than baseball that you're interested in? I think you might have mentioned UFC.
I know a lot about that because I trained kickboxing prior to high school. Before I started high school, I trained kickboxing for about 7 years. I'm a blue belt in kickboxing, and then I trained jiu-jitsu a little bit. My dad's big in jiu-jitsu. He's a brown belt. In my basement, we got a martial arts room, so I train frequently. I train every week just to keep myself active, keep myself conditioned, and So it keeps me athletic with the footwork, the hands, hand speed. It's something that I think I don't know if I didn't do that when I was a kid, because I started when I was like 7 years old training martial arts. I probably wouldn't be the athlete I am, because it built up over time of me being to eat a bunch of Wendy's all the time, but also staying active. I think that's something it is something I do on the side.
All right, good. And so obviously you've had a lot of coaches, trainers. Any particular coaches, trainers, or other individuals that you would say have been kind of mentors of you? And from that aspect, from the mentoring aspect, what's kind of the biggest things or the best things that you may have taken from some of those over the years?
Yeah, so over the years, I'm going to start off what I was just talking about with kickboxing and my coaches and trainers for that. They really built a discipline aspect in my head. They really showed me because I was like, when I was a little kid, I didn't really listen to my parents that much. Because they were telling me, you got to be disciplined. But yeah, they taught me a lot about discipline, hard work, and when it comes to sports and how you got to train like that. And they're the Hill Brothers training for martial arts, and they incorporate a competitiveness in my head, because I remember I had to spar against all these guys, and that really built up over time. But now, when I'm in high school, I've been training with Enoch Smith, with Starts Up Front, and that's my D-line coach, and he also trains tight ends and linebackers. I do linebacker training and D-line training with him, and that's something that really helped me. He taught me grit. He taught me I got to go in there and be mean. And his son played at Mount Carmel, won 4 state championships or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And his son is also named Enoch Smith Jr., and he played at Oklahoma State. And they taught me about grit. They taught me about how you got to go in there and just want to make a message to the other team. And along with D-line training, improving my skills, it's helped a lot.
So any particular things over the off season that you felt like you wanted to work on or needed to work on, Ian, to kind of take your game to the next level?
Yeah, so one thing I've been really focused on is my speed. I was a very fast edge rusher throughout the year. I have a lot of film, me exploding off the edge, beating guys around the corner. But I realized that if I built my speed more, I'm going to have more advantage and possibly more sacks. And I was watching, like, I can do better there. And that's something I really focused on, was my get off, my hands around the corner, my speed around the edge, working faster moves, incorporating my moves faster is something I really saw I needed to work on, and I did.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about the Chicago Catholic League. So I know everybody knows how competitive it is and how game in and game out, it is a battle, right? So how do you prepare for the week in and week out grind and battle of the Chicago Catholic League?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously every game's like the Super Bowl in the Chicago Catholic League for both teams. And when we play each other, no matter who it is, Providence, Marist, Mount Carmel, Nazareth, whoever, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta just think and know you're practicing harder than the other team. You just gotta, when you're feeling like you want to just take that play off, or you want to just go a little lighter because you know that you don't have a big blocking responsibility or whatever it is. You got to just push yourself every single second of that, however long your practice is. You got to know that you're giving your full effort, and it starts by yourself, and it leads to the team, and that's going to lead to Friday night success in the Chicago Catholic League, because it's the most intense league in Illinois.
It is. And we've talked about on some of our podcasts how we think it's probably one of the maybe top 5 leagues in the country. Not just Illinois, the Midwest, whatever. But there's some teams within the Chicago Catholic League, including Joliet Catholic, I think, that could compete or would compete with some of the more national kind of exposure teams that you see out there, right? So I think it's really a tough league. It's a competitive league, and I think it prepares you well for anything that you want to do in the future. So from a standpoint of competition and getting better and all of that comes with that. I think playing in the Chicago Catholic League and being a part of the Joliet Catholic program is a big plus. So, more in the Chicago Catholic League. I know every game is tough, like we just talked about, but are there any particular games that you're looking at this year that you've got a big star around or a big circle around or something like that, Ian?
Yeah, so obviously for Joliet Catholic, one of the best rivalries in the state, I think, that has been going on for a long time is Providence. That's always a game that's our week 9. That was our week 9 last year. And we always draw huge crowds, both whether at Providence or at here. I mean, we've played. I remember 2 years ago we played in front of 10,000 people. It was,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that is a huge game that both teams got to win, and that's the big star for us. That's the big one, but that's not ducking any team on our schedule. And that's just the second one I want to give is Marist. Joliet Catholic Marist doesn't have a massive rivalry or tradition, but I feel like it's starting to brew up because past 2 years we beat them by 1 in crunch time. Last year we beat them overtime in double overtime it was, and we beat them. No, it's 4 overtime. It was something crazy, and we beat them by 1. The year before that we beat them by 1, and that's a team that really wants to beat us.
Yeah. Okay.
I know they really want to beat us because it sucks losing to a team by 1 2 years in a row. And
right.
I just know they really want to beat us, and that's something I don't want to let happen, and I know we're really preparing for.
So I know you play defense, Ian.
Yes.
Are you going to play any plans to play on offense this
year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Last year.
Where at? Tight end?
Yeah. So last year, week 3 against Fenwick, I played tight end a lot, going against Nate Marshall and Jack Paris, blocking those guys.
Yeah.
I had to block those big dogs that are going to Power 5 schools. That was my first ever playing tight end. And then rest of the season, they kept me on the defense. But this year, I'm going to be playing a lot of offense. I'm going to be seeing that field a lot. I'm going to be playing tight end.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will be in the tight end position this year.
So I know on the offensive side of the ball, you've lost some players, right? Some really good players. First of all, you had a huge offensive line last year, maybe the biggest in the state. So I know you've lost some of them. You lost your 3 running backs from last year who were outstanding. So who's going to step up on the offensive side of the ball? And I'll ask you about the defensive side of the ball too next. But who do you see stepping up on the offensive side of the ball to kind of fill some of those voids of some of those really top-notch players that you lost?
So we have about three or 4 returning starters. The 3 that are real returning starters is Lucas Similik, our quarterback, Connor Ahoyt, which actually he didn't start till week 7 last year, but he's an absolute beast. And I'm looking for he's going to be leading, but someone that's going to be stepping up this year is Anthony Finnegan as the running back. Anthony Finnegan is going to be our. He saw some time last year as well, scored some touchdowns for us, and he is going to be I feel like he's going to be a big step up this year. And then we have Craig Peacock, which he's a senior. He's coming in senior year, but he saw time last year. I mean, he made big plays last year. I mean, he played big plays against Fenwick, Providence, Marist. Saw a good playing time last year, but just couldn't get the ball enough because we had Larry and McGreeny.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I feel like Craig Peacock is someone we're going to need we're counting on this year.
Okay, good. And what about on the defensive side of the ball? I mean, you've lost some good players there too. You lost some good linebackers, a couple of defensive linemen, if I'm correct. Yeah. So who should we be looking for on the defensive side of the ball, other than you, Ian, this year?
So last year, I mean, we lost we lost 2 all-conference D linemen and 3 all-conference linebackers, and so starting with the D line, we lost Rocco Powell and Zach Pomato, which were really good. They were undersized, but they were really good. But this year we got a defensive tackle that everyone needs to keep an eye on. He's going to be a junior. His name's Frankie Pachanka. Frankie actually was in the playoffs, was our starting tight end last year, blocking. Made huge blocks in the state championship game against Morris. Absolutely he is the most physical kid I've ever played with and I've seen. And there's something about him that he's scary. And I've played with Dylan Johnson, Max Ron, guys like that that were 2 years ago for us. But this kid Frankie is something different, and people really need to keep an eye on him because he's gonna be good. And then secondly, we got our middle linebacker replacing Daniel Rouse.
Yeah, it's tough to replace somebody like Daniel Rouse, right?
Oh yeah, it's tough to replace someone like Daniel, which was a 3-year starter. Guy who just was what was he 5'11", 230, absolute monster of a middle linebacker. But we got someone with the same size coming in that actually was our starting Sambacker last year as a sophomore. He's moving to the mic. His name's Derek Pomato. And he is also one of those guys where all of college coaches need to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone is keeping an eye on him because he's one of those guys who know how to play linebacker, not just in there because they have the size. He is linebacker. Like everything about him is linebacker.
So it sounds like you're not rebuilding, Ian, because you have lost a lot of really good players, top-notch players. But it sounds to me like you think you're just kind of reloading here. Is that, do I got it right?
That's the goal. That's what we want to do. We want to just reload. We don't want to think of, even though we lost 32 seniors, we're not really thinking about that. Yeah. Or we're not going to be like, oh, it's rebuild year. No, it's go time year. We go out there, play the same football as last year.
All right, good. Yeah, we're really looking forward to watching you guys play this year as we do every year. So a couple of final questions here, Ian, and these are not quite as hard hitting. Okay, so where, if we were coming out to a Joliet Catholic game and we wanted to stop and get something to eat, right, beforehand, before we get out there, where should we go? Where should we stop?
Yeah, so right across the street from our stadium. Our stadium's not on our campus, but it's right across the street from our stadium. We got a Chipotle, and that's the fan favorite for all the players. All the players, that's all we eat, Chipotle.
Yeah,
but some real restaurants there. You got Aurelio's Pizza, which Aurelio's Pizza. That's the owner of that restaurant, that Aurelio's, is one of our wrestling coaches.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Yeah. So is that somewhere like if your parents, fans, people were coming out to a game and said, you got to stop at this restaurant, stop here and have something to eat, that would be Aurelio's would be the place?
Oh yeah. You got to go to Aurelio's right across the street because before a game, it is it's packed. People go in there. Oh, let's go to Aurelio's before the football game. Get some pizza, get whatever, and it's good. It's good. It's a nice little restaurant in there, and yeah.
All right, good. All right, so last question for you, Ian, and I want you to finish this sentence for me. So Joliet Catholic football this season is going to be what?
Surprising.
All right, surprising.
Good. I don't want to say like, oh, good or the best or whatever. I want to say surprising because people know we lost a lot of guys. People know, oh, you guys lost 2 All-Staters, 3-year starters, 4-year starters. We don't care. Yeah. We love them. We love those guys. Those guys were awesome. But we got to look past that and we're going to come playing the same football. That's what our goal is. We want to come play same football, and we want to surprise and carry ourselves the same standard. We want to carry ourselves. People are going to be surprised how we carry ourselves by losing all those guys. And we want to make sure we look like actual Hilltoppers out there because we are.
And you're right. Most people would look at it from the outside and say you've lost 32 guys or 32 seniors from last year's team. This might be a down year, but you're saying, no, we're going to surprise people, right?
Right.
All right. Well, good. Okay. Well, that will do it for this episode of the Varsity Voices Media Network's CCL Players Shoutout. We want to thank Ian Campbell from Joliet Catholic for joining us. And thank you for listening and watching. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe on wherever you get your podcast from. And feel free to message us or send us comments on all the major social media outlets. We are the Varsity Voices, and we will talk with you soon.